Well, hello everyone, and welcome to Hogarth's Global Astrology. Know your planets, know yourself, or know your nation, know yourself. The two are interchangeable. Okay, so this is hopefully going to be a quickie, and in fact, it has to be quite quick because I need to go and play a bit of tennis. Got back into my tennis sport again, and there's a group that I play with in London. Right, so this is. Hopefully this will be quick. This is a reaction, a reaction to the debates last night. The debates last night. Now, obviously, look, so I'm going to show you a clip from Hogarth 2 weeks ago. Two weeks ago, 2 Saturdays ago. And remember, at the time, the consensus at the time, many people believed that Trump wouldn't show up. Remember, Trump wouldn't show up for the debates, etc. And I said, look, he will. I think he will. But I said, something's going to be strange. Something unusual is going to happen. There's an element there of being wounded in battle, etc. and stuff like that. Now, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to play that clip. But when I was reading the cards, and the sense that I was getting that I said it was going to be difficult for both men. I think it was a little bit tricky, but obviously what I was also feeling was that it was going to be more difficult for Biden, particularly with the cards that I got. So what it is, I'm going to play you the little clip where I did my reading, and then we're going to look at both of their charts and really see where the transits, the upcoming transits, we need to look at Saturn. We need to look at the transit of Saturn for both men, because Saturn shows where your trials and tribulations are, etc. like that. We're also going to look at the men's dashers, very important. And we're going to look at Venus. Because remember what I said about Venus. I'm now starting to think it could be that Venus may decide who the next planet Venus may decide who the next president of the United States is, depending on the dashes and stuff. So we're going to look at that. Let's just get straight into the clip now, and then I'm going to play you the clip because I've already got it lined up in the right place. You'll see my prediction, and then we're going to get into it, and we're going to look at the guys' charts. And remember too, as well, when I was looking at the GOP's chart as well, so in the convention, there could be a little bit of mishegas there, but I'm expecting Trump to still be the nominee. But I said there's something surprising might happen on the Democrat side. I'd have to dig out that video. But for those videos, for those people that watched it, this was a prediction I probably made about a month ago now, so people may have forgot. But anyway, when I was looking through the Democrats chart, their inaugural chart, there was a big surprise in there. Anyway, so let me just do the share, because as you know, I just read the cards. I say what I see, and it may not always be, people may not always necessarily like what I see, but if it comes true, doesn't it? Anyway, so let's do share screen. And then let's do this. So I called it, this was Hercules Tarot, and I'll put it Lady G Returns. So that was a couple of weeks ago. So let's do the share now. And I'm just going to play you. Hopefully the clip is going to start from the right place. Does seem to be 1 minute. Let's just see if it's going to oblige.
Trump is finding some way to snake out of it that he won't do it.
Pause that there. 1 minute. So we need to be at 44 minutes and 28 seconds. So let's go 44. There we are. We'll just do here. So this is where my prediction begins. Oh, let's just call it there. There we are. Much appreciated. And of course it is shared with the ladies. All right. So interesting cards here. They can go kind of either way. They can go either way. I think this is what I'm going to say. I think these debates might be potentially tricky for both men.
Yes.
Both. Yeah. Why do I say that? Straight anyway, here we are. We've got the 9 of Pentacles here, the hostess with the mostess. So this is talking about wealth, abundance, opportunities, etc., and stuff like that. But as Lena says with this card, the dress is slightly too big. Yeah, the dress is slightly too big, and the sense I get here is in a funny way, it's what the words that come into my mind are: the lady does protest too much. I think I think it's going to be tricky for both men. I just have to say what I'm getting. I don't think it's going to be straightforward. You know the reason why? Because of my next card. The next card that comes out in the obstacle position is the 7 of Cups, which can deal with illusion, delusions, confusion. Lady G got the same card as well. So I think both men have to navigate this debate very carefully. Of course, with Biden, he has to make sure that he's sharp, on point, and can't have certain accusations thrown at him about his mental state and stuff like that. But likewise as well, what this also tells me is that Duck Larange is probably going to throw a lot of junk into the debate as well. Now, personally, I think he will show up because, you know, you still want to try and have a win. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I think he will. I think he will show up, but it's gonna be strange. It's gonna be unusual. There might be some discombobulating factors. There might be some confusion, and we might hear some strange stories. Yeah. If we look here, the GOP shows up, of course, and when we read on politics, how often do we get the 10 of Pentacles? So this is talking about the establishment, but I think this represents both parties actually. You know, they're seen as the establishment candidates, etc. Both have their pros and cons. You know, it's tricky. I'm getting the sense that this is a tricky one. The reason why is, look at the next card. It's the 4 of Swords. We talk about, you know, reflection, pondering, but it can also talk about being wounded in battle. So I think this is high stakes. You know, either man, of course, has to avoid the fatal blow, as it were, from their opponent. But this is also a card of meditation and reflection. I think there's a lot to ponder here. And then my outcome card is the same as Lena's card. I get the Hermit as well, which is about withdrawal, reflection. So you see, when you see them both together, you see it's not like fireworks. It's not the tower.
Oh no!
You see, it's quiet, withdrawn. Maybe someone's wounded in battle. Reflection, particularly in regards to the establishment parties. So I think the debates might be a little bit strange. Right. Just stop the share there. So there you could see that's how it turned out, didn't it? It's how it turned out. And it looks like the one that was wounded in battle was of course Biden on this occasion. So what to do? Yeah. What did the Democrats do? So obviously, I mean, I watched the full debate. I watched the whole thing. And I've also been watching the pundits react as well. And I've been looking at all the hand wringing and the pearl ringing and, you know, and all of these various different things going on now post the debate. So, you know, it's a tricky one. It's a tricky one because, you know, I mean, apparently some Democrats are saying that they want you know, Biden to step aside, to actually retire. Now, if that happened, that really would be something quite controversial, wouldn't it? But you remember what I said? I said on the 1st of June, 2024, I said Uranus will move into sidereal Taurus. And I said we could have issues with physical earthquakes, but also political earthquakes. Part of my 2024 predictions, I said, expect the unexpected. We're going to see some really strange and unusual stuff. if we look, for example, with the Tories in the UK, and I'm always banging on about the Tories, but I mean, this could be seismic. I mean, this really is already a political earthquake. I mean, like I said, not even in my last Thursday Friday, not even Jesus could save them. Even if it came down from 8, like literally, you can't save the Tories. In France, we're already having another political earthquake, because we could have Jordan Bardella, 28 years old, far-right candidate for France, who could become the prime minister of France at the age of 28. Huge political earthquake. This could be potentially another one. Now, in my Thursday Fry-Up last night, someone asked me the question, if there could be potentially a totally different person. So like, I'll just reiterate the question, which came in from Manuela Orchid. So anyone who watched my Thursday Fry-Up last night, if you've not seen it, pop over to that. And if you've seen the Thursday Fry-Up and you're looking at this is obviously an evolution on that question. She says, hi Hoagie, my question would be, if the election in the USA in November is a totally different person might be elected than the ones we always hear about, maybe much younger. Thank you, much love, Manuela. Now, the cards I got for that was the King of Cups, 10 of Cups, 9 of Wands, 3 of Cups, and the 3 of Pentacles. Now, the King of Cups always comes up as Biden, so I took that as the Biden card, yeah? And you know, it was looking pretty positive, except that 9 of Wands in the middle, which is what? In battle, yeah? Having to fight, feeling battle weary, but keeping on with the determination and stuff like that. But the question was, would it be someone else? Now, obviously we associate the King of Cups card with Joe Biden, but let's not forget, the King of Cups is an emotionally sensitive man, emotionally intelligent man, someone who's creative and artistic and stuff like that. And I mean, we will have to see. But I was watching Gavin Newsom, and he was doing a spin, you know, post the whatever, you know, the debate. And obviously, like, some people, I don't know too much about his track record, but some people are saying maybe he doesn't have the best track record in California. I'm not American. I don't know. So you guys can let me know in the comments of how you think he's doing. But one of the things that I was thinking, I was just like, gosh, he would make a pretty good candidate. But this is just on a superficial judgment. I don't know him well enough. I'm just talking about in terms of the impression, how he comes across, how he carries himself. He's got a good, clear voice. I think one of the things that was really tricky for Biden is that the voice, like in politics, as we know this already, but when it comes to public speaking of any kind, la voce, the voice, is incredibly important. Incredibly important. It must have vigor. It must have resonance. Whether you're male or female, like for example, like Margaret Thatcher, for example, she worked a tremendous amount on her voice, deepening the voice, broadening the voice to make it more authoritative. So it has to be rich. It has to have color. It has to be rich. Has to have color. And and now they said he had a cold, you know, which would be unfortunate. But I'm sure you would agree, he was struggling to come across, and it just reminds me of that K2 in the first house in the chart of the Democrats. Do you remember I said they've got K2 in the first house? K2 is known as a mute planet, and I think this is one of the reasons as well why they've struggled maybe to get their message across, or they tend to have prominent people or leaders who struggle with their speech in some kind of way, or communication in some kind of way. So look, we have to look at that in terms of those cards. When the person was asking the question, I mean, could it be, will the Democrats do something really radical? Yeah, will they cause a political earthquake by maybe trying to select someone at the last minute, which really would be unprecedented? But remember, I said expect the unexpected. Yeah, expect the unexpected. We're seeing a lot. We're already seeing a huge, big shifts in politics because, of course, Pluto, repeat after me, is in sidereal Capricorn, which talks about the breakdown of old things, anything that's not working, those kind of things. Saturn as well. Remember as well, I did a blog the other day on Saturn return. Not Saturn return, Saturn going retrograde, which happens on the 29th of June 2024. Today's the 28th of June. I'm filming this 28th of June 2024 at 6:08. Gosh, I really do need to go. I don't even think I've got, because I've got to go and play tennis. So when a planet is retrograde, it means review, revise, reassess, etc. Whatever that planet deals with. Saturn is one of the planets of government, politics. He really is. He really is. And so it means he's standing still at the moment. But I mean, he's been standing still for at least the last week or so. Yeah, wherever he stands still, it gathers more emphasis, and then the retrograde begins. So it begins tomorrow officially. The debate happened last night. Saturn going retrograde, review, revise, reassess, recalibrate things in regards to what? Politics, infrastructure, rules, regulations, all of this kind of stuff. Things that are the established norms, traditions, stuff like that. So it looks like there's going to be, well, not even looks like, there already is massive reflection, of course, within the Democratic Party, of course, about everything from last night. So what I would say is this. Now, there is one due in September. Maybe Joe Biden, will be given, another chance or whatever. We'll have to see, because I think the convention for the Democrats is in August. And remember, neither man yet are the official nominees. We need to remember that. Officially, they're the presumptive nominees, but not officially. And what is it? So the GOP convention is in July, isn't it? Now, look, I've already said that I think there could be a bit of argy-bargy, but I'm still expecting Trump to be selected, particularly as well after the performance last night. Why wouldn't they? With Biden, I would say from now up until the Democratic convention in August, he's really got to be on it. He's really got to be on it. And my feeling is, because remember those cards, there was the Four of Swords there, which means what? To be wounded in battle, to reflect, to retreat. It literally means to retreat. You can see the guys there, asleep, resting. So there are obviously going to be a lot of questions, aren't there, as in regard to what to do. Let me just quickly do share screen again, and let's just quickly go over, because I've got to run, and I've got to because I don't want to be late for my tennis. And let's just see here. I've only got a couple of minutes here, so let's get up. Let's get up here. So that's Donald Trump's chart, but let's get up Joe Biden's chart. All right, so there's something very important. Here's Joe Biden's chart here. So if we see here, one of the most important things to understand. So here he is, triple Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio rising, Venus in the first house, with Mars, with the Sun in the first house. So he's a triple Scorpio in Vedic. Yeah. So he's a bona fide proper Scorpio, and I think even in Western tropical he's still a Scorpio, but the ascendant would be different. They would have him as a Sagittarius ascendant, but his ascendant is Scorpio. So if we look here now, the important thing to understand is that Joe Biden is in his Saturn dasher. Yeah. Now the Saturn dasher is a famously challenging dasher. It really is. Now, they say it's a blessing to get this dasher, because Saturn is the planet taskmaster, pressure, intense pressure. one can struggle in the Saturn Dasha. One doesn't always get the fruits, the fruits of one's labor. And now look, I've been through a Saturn Dasha and it's 19 years, and trust me, it was one of the hardest times in my life, consistently. When I look back at my Saturn Dasha, I'm like, oh my God, I'm grateful for it because it's made me the person I am today. But my God, it was tough. It was 19 years of tough. But they say it's a blessing to get when you're younger because they say you have the strength to endure it. Now, if we look here, you see where it says SASA. So Biden went into his Saturn Dasha on the 21st of September, 2022. So, of course, we're now in, what is it? We're now in 2024, aren't we? So this was all, this was all, of course, elected. Of course, this, so we can see a couple of years into his presidency, the Saturn Dasha started, and it's just a bit tricky, it's just a bit tricky. It's not an easy Dasha. Let's look to see where Saturn is though. So here's Saturn, as you can see, it's at 25 degrees 13 minutes. Tomorrow there's going to be a little R with an X through it, which means retrograde. So let's look at which house this is happening for Biden. Now if we look here, Saturn is with his K2, K2 can also deal with losses as well, but it can also deal with spirituality and all of that kind of stuff. But his Saturn is in the 4th house in Aquarius, which is Scorpios. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So wherever Saturn is going in a person's chart, whichever house it's retrograde as well, that also means to review, revise, reassess. But also as well, the houses that it's looking at. Now, for all Scorpios, Saturn is going retrograde in the 4th house, which deals with the homeland. It also deals with real estate, real estate and stuff. Obviously, Biden's mother's, not alive anymore, but it deals with homeland. It also deals with real estate. This could also talk about the White House as well, which is one of the most important bits of real estate in the world. So it's going retrograde in that house. Saturn looks three places from himself, 7 places from himself, the opposition, which all planets do, and 10 places from himself, which is the backward square. So what this means is Saturn is looking at Biden's moon. 1, 2, 3. Because look, Saturn's here. So just imagine Saturn's in this box. 1, 2, 3. You count from the planet. Looking at his moon. The moon deals with the mind and the emotions. That's pressure. Mind, emotions, it also family, deals with family. You would remember, this is months ago now, this is last year, and I said, look, Hunter Biden, I'm sorry, is going to struggle because I can see when Saturn moved into sidereal Aquarius, which he did on the 17th of January 2023, I said there are going to be issues for Hunter Biden because Saturn's going to be looking at Biden's moon family, And there was an aspect at that time as well when he was moving on, and it was on aspecting at Biden's Mars, which can also deal with suns. So there's that. Where's the opposition? The opposition is happening in the 10th house, the career. Happening in the 10th house in the career. Here you can see Rahu here, but so is Chiron, the wounded healer. So there's a little bit element here of quite literally being, because the 10th house is our public facing face. So that's, can deal with literally wounds in public. But if we look at the 10th aspect, if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, Saturn's full aspect, his backward square, is also on Biden's 1st house, him, the personality, how he comes across and stuff like that. So this is pretty challenging. Now, of course, Vedic astrology, we have different techniques. They don't talk about this in Western astrology, but let's just say it's not the easiest time right now because he's in his Saturn Dasha. However, this is also as well could give him fortitude, determination. But what I would say is, based on that debate last night, he's got quite a lot of work to do, hasn't he? Quite a lot of work to do. Let's look at Duck Orange, and then I really got to make a move. So let's look at Donald Trump and see where it's falling for him. Now, for Duck Orange, because he is a Leo rising with, of course, that Mars in the 1st house, that's why he's so bombastic. You see here that Saturn is in the 7th house. Now, the 7th house is anyone that's not us, but it also deals with the public, yeah, relationships, marriage, etc., and stuff like that. It's also known as a marker house as well. So there can be some challenging things for Duck Laurent. She's obviously had a torrid time of it recently. So for him, Saturn is looking at his 9th house, which deals with what? The law, yeah? The law, legalities, judges, all of this kind of stuff, yeah? He's had some pressure there as well. He's had some pressure. Saturn is also looking at his 1st house, yeah, by his 7th aspect. So it means Biden and Trump both have Saturn looking at their body, their 1st house. So they're both feeling the pressure. They're both mature, yeah, feeling it. But the backward square, so let's count. Remember, imagine that. Here's Saturn here, but imagine he's here in Aquarius. Let's count round 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Look at this. Saturn is also looking at Trump's moon, which again is affecting the mind and all of this stuff. Both of them have been critiqued, you know, for cognitive stuff, etc., and stuff like that. So this is tricky for both of them, which is what I said in my reading. So, and again, this talks about, you know, family, etc., you know, all of this stuff as well. So, you know, both of the things are a bit tricky. I think what's going to swing it here is to do with Venus. So at the moment, Jupiter, Duck Laurent is in Jupiter K2. Now, Jupiter is a lucky planet. Yeah, we just have to accept reality. Jupiter is a lucky planet. He's in a Jupiter dasher. I said when his Jupiter K2 come along, he would start losing money, which of course he did, yeah, from October 2023. And if it wasn't for the courts, do you remember I said the judiciary would be helping him out? At that time, Jupiter, where it says TR, this is where the planets are right now, Jupiter was helping him out by being in his 9th house, which is a house of luck, help from judges, yeah? We've seen canon and, you know, the appeal court, etc., and stuff like that. Anyway, Jupiter Venus. Now he goes into his Jupiter Venus on the 27th of September 2024. I think this is what is going to decide it. His Venus is in the 12th house. The 12th house can deal with endings, but it also deals with the land of far, far away. It also deals with prisons, yeah? Also deals with prisons. Spirituality, travel, ashrams, all of this kind of stuff. Bodies of water, yeah, coastlines, you know, watery places. So, you know, this makes me think of Mar-a-Lago in Florida. Now here in his chart, he's got Saturn here and he's got Pluto. Venus is in between the two. That's quite a malefic combination. Now, the 12th house can also deal with endings, but we need to remember Venus is a benefic planet and she is the ruler of the 10th house of career and the 3rd house of communication. In September, I would say towards the end of August, when that energy started to come in, and definitely in September, we will start to see the results that Venus will give to Duck Laurent. I truly believe that this election may be decided by the planet Venus and where she is. Remember too as well that Biden's got Venus in the 1st house. So there's a very important in the body, very important planet for him as well. Yeah. So we'll have to see, because Venus has the ability, depending on how she responds, to either put Trump in prison, affect his health, or give him a reprieve, because she's a benefic. Jupiter as well, we have to acknowledge this as well. Jupiter and Uranus are in Trump's 10th house. He's having the beginning of his Uranus return. You see here, Uranus is at 1 degree 25 minutes, and it's at 24 degrees 47 minutes in his natal chart, because we have to be 84 years old before we get that full return. Yeah, Biden's obviously a bit older, so his Uranus is coming closer. So it means both men are having basically a Uranus return. But he's also got Jupiter in the 10th house, which is normally quite a lucky combination. So we'll have to see. I think, as bizarre as it may sound, Venus may decide it. Yeah, Venus may decide it. So let's do TR and let's do the election, which is what? It's the 5th. Oh, forgive me. I think it's the 5th. Oh my God. Is it the 5th or the 8th of November? Oh, crikey. I think it might be the 8th of November. I'll do the 5th because she's still be in the sign. She spends about a month in a sign. So let's do November 2024 and let's calculate, see where Venus is. Right. Okay. So we can see here. So during the election, oh bloody hell, that's interesting. Do you see where Venus is? Venus is at 28 degrees 36 minutes on the 5th of November. Forgive me, is that the election day? Forgive me, it's the 5th, 6th, or the 8th. It's one of those dates, isn't it? That sits right on top of Trump's moon. Do you see? Venus is at 28:36. His moon is at 28 degrees. Wow. Okay. If we look here, let's go back to Biden's. Wow, that's quite interesting. Let's go to Biden and see where Venus will be in relation to that. Venus at that time, you know, let's we don't need to do the get date again, but Venus will be in Biden's first house, giving him a boost as well. This, you know, this is really close, guys. This is really close. This is really close. So I'm going to stop the share there. Let's minimize that down. Venus is going to decide it, guys. I think planet Venus is going to decide the election. I know that might seem like quite a controversial thing to say, but that's my hit, because it's on or around that time. Venus is going to be right on Trump's moon, like exactly. But it's also going through Biden's first house. Both of them have pretty much the same aspects from Saturn. From Saturn, they're both having their moon aspected by Saturn as well. So, you know, Saturn is not the easiest planet. So it could, like I said, I think it's going to be challenging for both men. So let's see how Biden recovers from this. But he's really gonna, after that debate, he's really going to have to obviously up his game. And for Duc Larange, it's all going to be about, obviously, him trying to keep himself out of prison, etc., and stuff like that. And we'll see what Venus brings him, whether or not it's going to affect his health, put him in prison or exile, or if she gives him a reprieve. But you could just see from that, with the transit of Venus, the fact that in November, it's going through Biden's first house, and then could be right also as well, right on Trump's moon. Oh my goodness, yeah. So that means yes. So I'm confident in saying Venus will decide who is going to be the president of the United States. So we just have to see how that plays out. I hope you found that interesting. And let's see what happens from there. I must dash, so I'm going to end it here. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, of course, to the channel, and press the bell notification. And Costa Rica, don't forget, Costa Rica. Some people started to book. Wonderful, which is great. I'm so looking forward to that. That, of course, is in January. More details on that to come later. But let me know your thoughts, and I will leave it there for now. Big love, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow on Hogarth. All right, bye-bye for now.